Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So,
So,
Leon's.
Leon pries up the floorboards under the bed
Hmm.
to reveal a small, the underfloor space underneath. You peer in, like shoving your way under the bed. You kind of have to get up off of Orf,
Hmm.
the hedge wizard, and to reach inside and produce a book. It's not as exciting as you would have imagined. It's wrapped in black leather all the way around.
Hmm.
So it's basically a cube of black leather with a clasp flat on one side. And then there's metal studs periodically at the binding.
I I flip
You
open the
crawl out
book
from
and
under the bed.
yeah, I
Yeah,
crawl from
you've
under
got
the
to
bed and
like,
keep a hand on the wizard's neck to hold him in place, and flip open the book with one hand and kind of look at the first page.
yeah. So you sit on top of the wizard. You've got to flip a clasp to like undo it
Yeah,
and like open it up.
that's fine.
And the smell of musty pages hits your ears. No explosive runes.
Thank God. Well,
And you thumb through it.
yeah. Anything look remotely legible to me?
You see all manner of gibberish, sigils and diagrams, and not a word of it in any language you understand. There's about well, I'll let you choose. Do you want there to be 50 or 100 pages?
Um,
Is it a traveling spellbook or a regular
no, I think
spellbook?
this guy's pretty sedentary, or not sedentary. But this guy's not a
Okay,
big mover
yeah.
about, so.
So there's 100 pages. We're not sure if all of them are full at this point, but
Yeah.
you thumb through it a little bit and you can't. Yeah. Looks like nonsense to you.
I'll look at the book. Nothing jumps out to me as something I could possibly learn. How am I supposed to learn these spells if I can't even read them?
Who said you could learn spells? You're a fighter.
It was the premise of this entire storyline.
Are you inspecting the book like with the intent to decide? I mean, like you're in
Yeah,
the
I
middle
want
of like
to
a
see
hostage
what.
situation. I don't think you're stopping to study or what. Or
I'm
what
not stopping
did
to
I
study, but I
misunderstood?
do. I'm trying to figure out why these people want this guy. If I'm going to be part of this guild, I need a better understanding of what's going on here. So I'm trying to piece together their reasonings for wanting him. Maybe there's something in his book. Maybe there's a spell in there that would be useful to them. So I'm trying to put together what I can from it.
All right, you got what you came for. Now, take me where you where you must.
Seem like an awful nice person.
I can assure you there has been no deception on my part.
Figure out why the hell the goldsmiths would want you.
You and me both. So you're really not with one of the bastards men?
No.
I'm
Got nothing to do with those folks. I'm from Seagate. You ever visit a place called the Sweet Rose?
can't say that I have.
Good. I
Goldsmiths, aren't they thieves guild?
close enough, sure. Tomato, tomato.
I assure you, I've had no business dealings with them.
Can you transmute iron into gold or lead into gold? What can you do? What do all these spelly thingies here do, huh?
I could turn lead to gold.
Really? Well, maybe that's why they want you.
Uh,
If you can turn lead to gold, why are you living in such a hovel?
hmm.
Like this honest rapport we got going on here. Makes things a lot easier for the both of us. A good way to die.
If you let me sleep, rest up, I'll
I'm not
conjure all
that
the gold,
stupid.
all the gold you could ask for.
As I said, I ain't in this for the money. Why don't you tell me what here these words say? And I point to the first line in his book.
He's laying face down, and I mean, like he can't.
Right, so I'll
You've got to
slide
sit
the
him up,
book
or
so it is underneath his chin, and then like help hold his head up so it's like hanging above the book. I know I'm making it awkward on him, but that's kind of the point. Is I need him to stay restrained.
you wouldn't understand anyways. It doesn't work
Try
like
me.
that. He kind of looks up at you sideways.
Don't take me for a common idiot.
Doesn't work like that. I can't just read it to you.
Well, tell me what it does.
This first one turns lead to gold. He says somewhat tongue-in-cheek from the floor.
Well, I suppose you've
Unless
done right by
you
me.
unless you can pass a charisma check, he's not going to teach you how to cast spells from the floor.
Expecting him to teach me how to cast spells, but I was hoping to at least get the names of a couple of things.
Lead to gold. There's the first one. Add it to your list of possible spells that exist.
Well, I'm gonna have to rely on charisma to get things done in this world. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to find alternative methods for solving my problems. A 25% chance of passing a check is just not good enough for me. So, content this man has told me the honest truth.
You have no reason to believe otherwise.
Except for the fact that I've broke into his house, I've beaten him into unconsciousness, and
several times.
Yeah, he's got every reason to lie to me. I'm content that this guy has done as good of a job as I would expect someone to do in his position. And so I'll ask him, well, if this really can be led into gold sort of thing here, suppose you've done your duty. How would you like to die? Broken neck?
3 hours ago? How is it dawn? 8 hours ago. You've drugged this on far too long. Get it done.
All right, one last question before you go. What was in that tea you poured me?
Well, I suppose it would have, if you had drank it would have put you to sleep, and the tables may have been turned.
Kind of thought something along those lines. Well played, man.
But in reality, he rolled a 1 on his herbalism check, so you would have been like, "This is disgusting. I'm not drinking it."
All right.
I did want to get to that. I was hoping you would sip it so I could reveal that. But it doesn't matter. You dumped it out anyways.
Yep. I straddle him again, take his neck or his head in both my hands, give it a nice.
Okay. You kill the hedge wizard Orth. Break his neck.
All right, now I'll set about really looking at this spell book and this script, this piece of paper, this letter.
Okay. So you sit down. The spell book, like I said, you can't make heads or tails of. But something is perplexing about the letter. like I said, you feel like it makes sense to you, but it's in some sort of code or cipher or runic language. It
It makes sense,
in
but it's in
game
a runic
terms,
language.
it's a magic scroll. Maybe your character's heard rumors of these, but even if you haven't, you get the sensation that you could activate it or something. You could read it out loud, or I mean,
but I don't know what it does.
Yeah. And then between with the torture and then some time in some investigation, a couple hours have passed since dawn. Roll a perception check.
Well, I should be getting the hell out of here pretty soon. 18. A couple hours have passed since dawn.
Yeah.
I've overstayed
you
my
were
welcome.
lost in your studies and didn't hear anyone approach until there's now a knock on the door.
All right, I will go back to this and do more or less the same thing I did with the sheriff, where I go to the door and put my hand on the doorknob, ready for it to be waiting for someone to apply some force to try and open it from the outside, so I can open with them, grab them, and pull them in.
All right, you scoot to the door, and you hear a feminine voice from the other side. Master Orpheus, are you sleeping in again? And then, a moment later,
Orpheus.
there's another knock.
Well, time to take the red pill. I will open the door and make a grab at the person on the other side.
Not surprised, so go ahead and roll me for initiative.
First attack is initiative. Woo!
Yeah. Dodged a bullet there.
Well, I get 2 attacks from including my offhand, so.
All right, 9 is still enough. You open the door to see a flabbergasted young woman before you.
All right, first grab attack.
Okay. Who cares what she's wearing, what she's holding? You subdue her. Roll. Are you just making a grab?
I'm grabbing and pulling in and shutting the door, and then.
Can you just stop torturing my NPCs?
Who said there's any torture? I just need to not be in the public eye while this is going on. And then once pulled inside,
there's no.
I was going to make.
You grab the woman by the front of her dress. She drops another basket full of flowers all over the front, the entryway, and she is pulled into the. Actually, she does get a post-strength check, doesn't she?
Oh, she should,
yeah.
29.
She resists, but to no avail. All right, and you shut the door behind you?
Yep.
Do you make an offhand punch or anything?
Yep. 15 to hit?
Yeah. All right. You grab her, throw her into the hut. She hits her head on the way down, or maybe you hit her head on the way down, and she is rendered unconscious.
All right.
You shut the door, I assume?
Yeah.
Pulling her feet inside, she's like slumps on top of the body of her master.
I'm gonna shove him under the cot and lay the cot back down.
Okay, it sort of slumps lumpily on top of his body.
Here. Then I'm gonna go through her possessions.
She's got nothing. Pair of gardening shears. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll disarm her. And then just kind of sit around and wait for her to wake up.
You remove her gardening shears. You do just wait here for.
Oh God, no! The sun's coming up, right?
It's like out.
Oh yeah.
It's daytime.
Oh no!
You've been up all night torturing. You've got another shack filled with dead bodies.
Oh, I have so many questions I want to ask her, but I need to leave this place. People in town know that I was coming up here. and they know that I killed the sheriff, and it's the next day. So if there's reinforcements arriving, they're going to be arriving pretty soon.
You have
Leon's having a
questions. I think
crisis.
there's probably some NPCs that have some questions to ask of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
All
better
right.
judgment's kicking in. You need to.
Yeah, I need to get the hell out of here. So Leon's going to make a quick scribble. He's going to find an ink and quill in this place. I hope there's some somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I will take a piece of paper from. If there's no loose paper, I'll rip a piece of paper out of a book. But I hope there's a loose sheet of something somewhere.
Yeah, you tear a page out of the spell book. And,
No, not out of the
there's a
spell
loose
book.
piece.
Okay.
There's a loose piece of paper.
Yeah. And I will write on it something to the effect of your master's final dying wish was that you remain unharmed. You can thank him for that, for this final kindness.
How sweet. All right. Any other information you want to relay, or is that just the message?
No, I'll crumple that piece of paper up, throw it in the hot coals, burn it, and stride again, writing a letter saying, between your, it was your, between your master and a traveling handsome man named Leon, their final wishes were that you remain unharmed. You owe them both your life.
Oh,
Signed,
cringe.
GSU.
What's GSU?
Goldsmiths Union.
Goldsmiths. Okay, sure. All right, you leave that note on the table.
I'll leave that note on the table, or in her hands on wherever she's laying.
Is there anything or anyone you're taking with you?
Oh, I'm going to take the spell book, and I'm going to take the scroll, and I think that's it. And Leon, man, if this is what it means to be a member of the Goldsmiths Union, if it means killing a sheriff, possibly killing 2 innocent farmers, beating the crap out of this wizard, and now that I've got 133 gold on me, I could just skip town. Like Sturge put a lot of trust in me, but maybe that was a mistake.
You're a smart guy. You're already not sure how. Well, I don't know. Whatever. I'll let you.
I know the lifestyle that the Goldsmiths Union leads to. It's not a very good one. Look at this guy, this spellcaster out here. He's got this nice little farm. He's got like an apprentice who comes over and brings him flowers. Like, this is a pretty sweet life. This is way better than my mother had it. This is way better than anyone I've ever known personally has ever had it. Maybe I could just take this guy's place and leave. I don't been doing the rough and tumble stuff because I've been needing to do it in order to keep going, but maybe this is it, man. Maybe I'm done with this life. So, as if on a whim, Leon's gonna pack up the spell book and the scroll into his backpack and head south. No, he'll turn back and go into the house after he's like 10 feet away and scrounge around for any sort of traveling food he could take: bread, cheese, crackers, dried meats, candied meats, whatever.
There's none inside the house. There's just like the bare bones accoutrement of the kitchen, like I was describing.
I will step outside, look around the hill. I don't see any other like meat shack somewhere, do I?
You're able to find a larder around the side of the
I'll
house.
raid the larder
like
for
food. Buried in the earth. Yeah, you can get foodstuffs. I'll call it 3 pounds a day.
Okay.
Because it's not rations.
Sure.
Right, but you can stock as much food as you'd like.
I'm going to take 8 days worth of food. Wait, I don't have my silk rope anymore. I can actually take more food now. I'm going to take 11 days worth of food.
All right. As you're gathering up food, the herd of geese moves to surround you.
I look up to them. They look like they're intelligent geese who can comprehend that I've just killed their feeder. Are they going to come after me?
You're kind of getting that impression.
Evil geese. They must be Canadian geese.
Canada geese. Oh no, Canadians. All right. All right. So
Um,
you can take 20, 24 pounds of foodstuffs, stuff it in a backpack. That's a full
33
backpack.
pounds of stuffs.
You just like shove all the foodstuffs in there with the spell book. This is the real reason why spell books need to be like waterproofed and stuff, is because
Let's just take this cheese and put it in here. Oh, who cares if it sits on the book?
mhm.
All this not quite dried fruits. Let's just toss it in here too. This bottle of wine can sit in there in case, who cares if it breaks open or not. Um, yeah, so I will pack up my backpack with food and then head out before the suspicious geese turn on me.
You're already worried they may alert your pursuers to. Oh, that's not you. That's the wizard.
Wizard should be
All right.
under his bed.
Yeah. So you take off. Where do you go?
I go south. I don't know what's south. There's the Bastard of Ashenholt down there somewhere.
I mean, you will know what's south. I mean, south is just going to be, yeah, countryside, Ashenholt, and war, something like that.
Hmm.
Okay. And I'm serious. Where do you go?
I don't know. I take the road south.
Okay.
I don't know
I
what's
think
the
we're gonna
next step
bring.
on the road.
I think we're gonna bring the episode in for a close. I mean,
Sure.
so out of character. Where do you go?
I think out of character, I'm just
Like
going to the
your
next
character.
town southward. I would need a world map to know what is south from here because I don't remember. It's been.
I mean, it's nothing. I mean, narrative aside, it's countryside. It's Ashenholt. It's war, right? I mean, there's villages.
Sure.
There's
So I'm just
Ashenholt
going to head
Keep.
to the next.
There's probably other islands over.
I want to head south to some place
Seagate,
where I
yeah.
could like stay in an inn for a week or so and see if I can't decipher this book. So I just want to head to like the next section of civilization that I can feel comfortable spending some time in.
I don't think you're going to feel comfortable. You just like betrayed the one of the largest powers in the region. You're not sure how long before they're set. I mean, but if you just disappear, if you just try to hang out in a tavern next town over, you're pretty sure. I mean, you don't know, but you've heard stories about people betraying the Union before, and
they still reach down into Ashenholt area, right? The Goldsmiths Union has reached into Ashenholt despite the warring.
As far as you know, they control the whole world. You probably never left this island, but
well, then I need to get the hell off this island. Can we see a world map or a regional map?
Not really. It doesn't exist. Right. I mean, like, I don't have a map of all of the southern islands.
Okay.
So you're just gonna need the geography.
So I don't have it. I can't tell you where I want to go because I don't know the names of any places to go to. I don't know what's in the world. Like all I know is Seagate and Ashenholt, and those are the only two things.
No, those are the only two major. Those are the only two major cities on this island.
Okay.
There's probably other islands in the kingdom, and then or you could hop a ship overseas. Yeah.
Well, I don't. So if I wanted to leave the island, I would have to go back to Seagate to take a boat, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to go back to Seagate.
It's only been a day since you left.
If I'm going to leave, I would have to leave right now. Otherwise, once I'm wanted by the Goldsmiths Union, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it through Seagate to get out of here. So, on the other hand, if I do go, they might see me hopping on a boat and leaving Seagate and then come after me right away. So I could stay on the island and hide, hoping to eventually find a way off. Or I could risk drawing their attention and leave immediately. I'm gonna hope to just hide from them on the island while I figure out what I want to do. Because eventually I'll be able to there's got to be other places with ships. It can't just
Seagate
be
is the major.
Seagate.
Yeah, Seagate is the only major port on this island.
Right, but it's not the
You
only.
you could absolutely get a boat or something elsewhere. I mean, it's an
Right.
island
Or
after all.
or I could even find a ship in another town that is leaving but is making a stop off in Seagate first and then just not leave the ship when it gets to Seagate.
I don't understand it. So Seagate is the only major port city. You go anywhere else, you're going to be hopping a boat. Yeah. Well, you could figure something out actually.
Yeah.
So
So
you've
I'm just
lived here all
gonna
your life. You're going to know the general area.
I'm gonna go south.
Okay. Yeah, so
No
you
particular
can
place in mind.
follow.
Just I'm gonna follow the road southward.
Yeah, there's no you can make your way south out of like the vicinity of this village and find your way on back to a major road
Yeah,
and head south.
that's the
That's
plan.
a that's a thing we can do. I mean, it's yeah. So you're gonna sort of head out into the lamb,
That's the plan.
head on the lamb, whatever. Okay. So we'll do that. And then how long are you gonna hole up? Like, are you gonna try and get to a tavern next town south and slip in anonymously and study? Or are you gonna keep running?
So I think the plan
Let's
is
let me start
to
calculating experience,
okay.
but
The plan is to head to some place where I can take a look at the things that I've got. So the next
mhm.
town over, it would be nice if I could stay at a tavern at an inn there for a day or two, just to try and orient myself with what I've got in my hands. See if it's something I can piece together. And if I can't figure it out, or if I can figure it out, but it's not, if it's not something I can do completely on my own, right on the spot, then I'm going to start asking around for other where other spellcasters might be and see if I can't get someone to show me the ropes.
That kind of talk will get you strung by a tree or splayed out and nailed to the floor.
Well, of course, I wouldn't be saying, "Hey, does anyone know a
Mhm.
wizard that can
Yeah.
teach me?" It'd be more of,
Mhm.
you know, up where I
Okay.
come from, we got, I'd trade stories of sorcerers and wizards, and trade my stories for someone in this town's story, and maybe follow up on that and see if it leads
All right.
somewhere.
So, okay. So next episode we'll pick up in the next town south.
Oh,
Um,
does that
it's
town have a name?
unclear, I guess, at this point. The town doesn't have a name yet. It doesn't have a name on my map either. I don't think it was ever given one, and I don't know that it really matters. But it is actually a town with an inn. It's unclear at this point whether you will be wizarding there.
I would hope to learn something there.
Then, if you're willing to like stay, I mean, like chill for a little bit in an inn, you can start that process.
I'm willing to chill for a little bit in that inn. I have a feeling that my betters are going to be on to me soon. But I'd like to regain
Okay.
that 2 HP and keep exploring.
Okay. 2 HP that's gonna take you 1 day to recover, 1 night to recover,
Hmm.
because you were administered first aid. You bastard. You wait for him to heal you, and then you murder him. All right, so you're gonna get 50 experience for um, murdering the farmer and his wife. 50 for the guard. Say 175 for taking down the wizard. 100 for finding the wizard in the first place. I think that's all that I can really think of.
Now, since I am
You kind
trying
of
to get my this level in wizard, and I did
so
use
this
my
is
martial arts specialization,
375.
right? Do you want to subtract anything because I was using my martial arts specialization for some of those combats?
Yeah. Yeah. How are we going to do this? I'll think. You can. I'll think about that for future I mean, you were basically a fighter at this point, right?
Yeah.
You don't have your wizard spells yet.
Right.
I was kind of imagining you would be a little further along and actually learning magic, but
How so?
alas, as in, yeah, I'm even hesitant on whether you can apply that to wizard, but I think I'll allow it. So 375. I assume you want to start applying that towards your wizard
Sure. I mean, if I'm
experience.
not applying it towards wizard, then I just have 0 experience.
Yeah.
So if you want me to not be leveling in wizard yet,
No,
that's fine.
no.
I'll take
That's
0.
fine.
But
So 375 plus 10% bonus brings you to 412.5.
we're 12.
Okay. And if you want, if so, you are going to get a day in a tavern south.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I don't know that we need to play that out. Like, do you want to try and get you some spells for next week? Do you want to breathe? Do you want to skim through that?
Through the spell
or
book
save
right
that
now?
for next week's session? Yeah.
Let's save it. Let's save this spell learning for next week. But
okay. So we'll probably start off next week's session with spell learning.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that'll bring us in for do you have any closing thoughts?
Is
Leon who you expected? He's not who I expected. The shack that I'm at, I should have prepared more shacks. I assumed we would only need 1 murder shack for the episode, but we needed 2. And so the first one was kind of an impromptu fight in a little sketched out shack.
I tried 3 times to learn the location of a wizard without resorting to violence, and they all failed miserably. So,
So, yeah.
When you fail something 3 times in a row, you got to change your tactics up and try something else.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyone could have told you where he was. Not anyone. Most people could have told you where he was, but so you picked the innocent farmer and his wife.
I picked the old people who were sitting on the side of the road. I said, "Is who lives out to those hills? Is there a wizard?" And they got all spooked and shut up. And I asked the old man in the bar fairly innocuously, and he started freaking out. And the young boy with the broken arm started freaking out when I was walking after him very casually, and
for good reason. You saw what happened to the people that stuck around or were forced to stick around. No, Leon is off to in proper dicing with death fashion.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't prepare Leon well enough. Like, I kind of still have no idea who he is as a character, and I'm actually fairly displeased with my portrayal of him this week because I don't understand him well enough. So I think I'm going to sink some hours into sorting out a real personality rather than a series of reactions to events.
You can sort out personality all you want, but in the end, I guess the character has backstory, but it's what you do in game that.
Well, right, but I
really
need
really shows his true character.
I need to see who he is though, so I can get a consistent personality going. I feel like he's kind of just a series of random reactions right now, without a tone going through it all.
5 charisma psychopath. That's good enough tone for me.
I don't want to be a 5 charisma psychopath, man. I don't want to be a murder hobo.
But the chat demands it.
Oh.
The viewers, they need their murder hobos.
Yeah.
They need blood. All right. Anything else you wanna say? Announcements? We got Frozen Frontier on Sunday.
Frozen Frontier on Sunday. Shenanigans is on Saturday. There should be misclicks later today. And that is all I have to announce for now. Regal Goblins has been getting some updates with its shows page, its toolbox page, and its team page.
There's a team?
There's a team page now, but that's about it. So
it's on the team page.
You'll have to take a look to find out. So that's it, guys, and we'll see you sometime in the future for another episode of Dicing with Death, although I don't know when that will be. So goodbye.